I just want to say how honored I am to be able to have him as well as everyone else here. So, Eduardo.
Thank you, Jim. Sometimes people think that only speaking is not that much. Sometimes they come to us and say, "Oh, Eduardo, what else can I do to help the cause of the freedom?" But by speaking, you're helping a lot. I was talking with my friend Alan dos Santos here before coming here, and I think it's the first moment that I see Alexandre de Moraes in the corner receiving a lot of critics all around the world. I never saw he in this situation. And for the first time, I saw him going to the Senate. Imagine someone like him that thinks they're even maybe bigger than God, have to call the senators and go to the Senate asking for a meeting to make sure that no one is going to push forward the impeachment. This is a lot to him, trust me. This is a lot to him. But it shows that we can have hope. As the senator, which you have a statue in the plenary of the Senate in Brazil, Rui Barbosa, as he was used to say like 100 years ago, the worst dictatorship is dictatorship that comes from the hands of the judiciary, because from this one, you have nowhere to appeal. And now we are here in the United States because we do believe that the voice coming from here, you can make pressure to try to bring back our democracy, our true democracy, not only by the narratives that they say. It will have a cost. As we all know, Ludmila Lins Grillo, I saw your video and you said very, very well about that. If Alexandre de Moraes was smart enough, he would study history, and he should know that all the dictatorships, when they are going to the end, the first one to fall is the one that is on the front line of the dictatorship. So I don't think that Alexandre de Moraes is the smartest one in this game. I think that he's only the one that is punching, and he's the only one that do not have a heart and sending ladies of 71 years old for 14 years in jail, just like he did a couple of weeks ago. And this is not brave. This is not courage. This is disgusting. This is unfair. This is something that, as a man, I do not respect him as a man, because I change places and I put myself instead of the places of these people. And if I would be Alexandre de Moraes, Dr. Dallagnol, I would never convict a lady of 71 years old that cannot barely throw a rock and treat a lady like that as a terrorist. For sure, if they were doing trafficking drugs, murder, if they were this kind of criminal, they would never had 14, 15, 16 years in jail. So sometimes people say that, oh, Alexandre de Moraes, he has a lot of courage. No, if there is something that he doesn't have, is courage, because he's using his position in a very disgusting way to try to smash an opposition. It's the only way that they have to keep in power, because they did everything against us. They call us as Nazis, fascist, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, whatever. And at the end of the day, it's not working. So they have to censor us. And when a dictatorship tries to censor us, we have to do exactly the opposite. It's talk, speak, tell all around the world what they are doing, because this is exactly the thing that they don't want to know. They don't want everybody to know about that. So they would be comfortable to spread this Brazilian virus that is a very special thing. That the things that we are having in Brazil is that the censorship is all over around the world, but coming through the hands of the government. Brazil is the only one case in the world that the censorship is coming through the hands of the judiciary. And they are exporting that by meetings in London, Paris, New York, as we are all looking. And if they're comfortable to do that, they will keep doing. And maybe they are going, Jim, tomorrow, bring that to here. It's the same story. When you talk with our friends from Venezuela, they say, Eduardo, like Eduardo Bittar, Eduardo, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I would never imagine that Venezuela would be in a place like that. And it's a country just as rich as Brazil. They are very rich. They have Amazon, minerals, water, tourism, everything. And look how they are. So yesterday was Venezuela, today Brazil, tomorrow maybe United States. So you are right, Jim. When we look to United States, we think that here is the home of the brave, the land of the freedom. And we are really happy from one side to be here, sad from other side because the reasons that we are coming here. But in the end of the day, it's giving us a lot of hope by speaking, by showing to everybody, by looking that they are not comfortable in their situations. Doesn't matter if they are creating narratives to take our passports, because after we visit here, Mr. Chris Smith, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and George Santos in December, when we came here to the U.S. Capitol, going to the end. Then a couple of weeks ago, we went to the European Parliament. And while we were there in Brussels, an article from Agência Pública, which is a media supported and financed by George Soros, it starts to say that me, Gustavo Geyer, and some other congressmen, we are running abroad of Brazil, trying to connect the fascist and the anti-democratic people to try to attack the vibrant democracy in Brazil. Okay, it was an article from the press. But then a couple of days later, a federal police report came up talking that the anti-democrats like me was like having a space on X, live streaming on X with Marion Alpha, and they quoted other congressmen. And after that, the same narrative was spoken by the president of the Supreme Court, Justice Luiz Roberto Barroso. So as we are not beginners in this game, when you see an article by the press, financed by George Soros, then you see a federal police report, and then the president of the Supreme Court start to say the same thing, is because they are preparing the field to come take our passports, at least. So we have to tell all around the world what is going on in Brazil to keep mobilizing the people, because in the end of the day, our home is Brazil. We love United States. I want to come here, but for vacations. I want to build a better Brazil. Thank you very much.